friends. Yay. Okay, let's dive in to the last letter of the DREAM acronym, which is all about helping you break down those big business goals into bite-sized steps so that you can scale and grow your business. So we've already covered the previous letters of DREAM, DREAM, in the episodes leading up to this one. The D stands for decide what you really want. The R stands for reverse engineer to break down exactly what it takes to get there. The E stands for embrace your numbers. A stands for ask for accountability. And now we are talking about momentum. So the last letter in that acronym is M, which stands for momentum. And it's my goal today to share two secrets for how you can scale your business by using these two things that I can't wait to share more about. And essentially, what this is going to do is put lighter fluid on the flame of any success that you've already had, regardless of if you lead a team or have employees, or even right now in your business, it's just you. These are things that absolutely can help take your business to the next level. So, what are these two things? Number one is systems, and number two is recognition. So, we're going to dive into both of these a little bit deeper. But first, I wanted to share a funny story with you. So a few weeks ago, I was visiting with my amazing sister-in-law. Y'all will hear her story at some point. She's an incredible artist and jewelry designer, and I love her so much. And she's got two beautiful daughters. I have two daughters myself. They range from 2 to 12. And we were playing outside. They have this big jumpy house, and they were running back up. Like, it has like this slide that goes down, and there's a platform, like a little house at the top of it, but it's like this big blow up jumpy house, if you will. And so all the girls were trying their hardest to climb up like the slide in reverse. So go back up the slide to get to the little top of the stairs. And they found that they couldn't do it without having some momentum, meaning like they had to back up and they had to run and like jump and, really kind of climb their way to the top. And they found that they could do it if they took their socks off. Like, I think most of them could get that done. But they decided they wanted to do it with their socks on because it was really cold. And they're like, okay, I think we can do this. We can make this happen. So each of them took turns, like running from however many feet away, building up that momentum to climb up the top of that ladder to get to the top. And they just couldn't do it. Well, and then they found, okay, well, I can do it if I take one sock off and leave one sock on. So they kept trying and they kept practicing and doing it again and again. Well, sure enough, Lucy, my little niece, she's 5, she made it to the top. And two things happened. Some of the little cousins were like, oh my gosh, well, if Lucy could do it, then I can do it. And I'm just going to try harder. And then others might have been a little bit more in comparison mode, which there's a whole episode of that. Embrace your numbers. Go back to that episode if you want to chat more about how to combat that. But essentially, what happened for both of them is once it was possible, they knew they could do it too, and it made them want it even more. And that is momentum, my friends. So both trying to kind of take a running start and keep going and practicing over and over again, figuring out a system for how to make it happen. And then once somebody does it, you know that you can do it too. Another example of that is it used to be that they would say that it was not possible, and by they, I guess I mean scientists or physicists or whoever, that it was not possible to run a mile in less than 5 minutes. So this was back in like the early 1900s, all the way up to the 50s. They just said, yeah, it can't be done. It's not physically possible for a man to run faster than a 5-minute mile. Well, sure enough, in 1954, this dude named Roger Bannister broke that 5-minute mile, and everyone was just shocked. But guess what? 46 days later, somebody else did it. And after that, I don't know how many, but there were like tons of people within that year that made it happen. And it all started with that one person knowing and believing that they could do it. And after that, the floodgates kind of opened. So it's kind of like that story with my nieces and my daughters. And now the crazy thing is that the record for the fastest mile is less than 4 minutes. Unbelievable. It's 3 minutes and 43 seconds. So isn't it mind-blowing? So here's the take home for today. So we're going to dive into how you can apply this to your business. And the first step is by leveraging systems. So if you're not familiar with this, or maybe strategy doesn't come natural to you, Don't be scared because essentially a system is just what you do consistently so that you can marry the process and divorce the result for how to build your business. So if you're feeling like, oh no, I couldn't create a system or I don't have a system, I'm telling you, if you're having success in your business, you have a system. You have something that you are doing. You have a process that it takes. There are habits involved, likely. There are steps that you take to make it happen. But until you can hone in on exactly what those steps are and what those systems are, then it's difficult to scale because to scale, it takes being able to show somebody else how to do it. So that's either if you're leading a team, say in network marketing, that's showing what's working for you to maybe the people on your team so that they can implement that for their business and they can have results too. Or if you have a team of employees, or maybe you want to grow a team of employees, you need to be able to show them what it is that you're doing so that they can do it too, right? So that's essentially all a system is it's just something that you do consistently, repeatedly. And once you figure out what it is that the system is, and you can have systems in lots of different areas of your business, we'll talk about that in just a second. But one of the biggest challenges, once you figure out, okay, this is what I do, it can be really difficult to delegate that or even teach or coach someone else how to do that same thing, primarily because you kind of might be nervous that they won't do it as well as you do it, or that it's going to take you more time to tell them how to do it or show them how to do it than to just do it yourself. So I want you to keep in mind that if you are aiming to delegate and to grow and scale, which if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to learn that. That's something I'm even learning and trying to build that muscle of delegation even on my own as we speak. But if you want to grow, you've got to learn how to delegate or exemplify the actions that you're taking, knowing that even if the results are only 80% as good as you can do it, it will get the job done. Done is better than perfect. And if you can have multiple people doing 80% work, it will lead to more results than you could ever do just on your own. And guess what? Sometimes when you delegate or if you teach someone how to do something the way that you're doing it, they might even be able to do it 120% better than you. And I see that happen all the time. Sometimes when I feel like I've got a handle on doing something and then I show somebody else like, oh, well, this is what I do. And they absolutely blow it up and do it better than I could ever do. And that, of course, builds confidence to know that you can go do it again. But even if that doesn't happen, and again, it's 80% as good as what you would do, just know that that can grow and scale your business. Done is always better than perfect. And the last thing with systems is, again, you can have systems for all areas of your business. So if you're in network marketing like me, that's my favorite business model, or maybe you are considering joining a network marketing team or starting a side hustle centered around that business model. My mentor, Bob Heilig, says that there are 4 freedom systems that you should have in your business. And he teaches on that better than I can, so you can go follow him. But just so you know, those 4 freedom systems apply not only to network marketing, but truly any business that you want to grow and scale. And those are onboarding. So what do you do if you bring on a new teammate or bring on a new distributor in your business or bring on a new employee? How do you onboard them? What is your process? What kind of expectations do you set? What do you tell them to do? Know that in this process, likely people aren't necessarily going to do what you tell them to. They're going to do what they see you do. So you're going to want to lead by example in that way. But onboarding is a very important system to get a hang and a handle on before you scale and grow your business. The number 2 freedom system is prospecting. And prospecting, from a network marketing perspective, sometimes that people consider that trying to enroll somebody in their business or to recruit somebody to do what it is that they're doing. But from Bob's perspective, prospecting is just acquiring customers or distributors. So it's basically how you present your product or service and what it is that you do or what that call to action that you ask for. So for us, for example, in my business, we sell makeup and we do before and afters, and we might do in-person makeovers. And that always looks like, can I match you? Can I do a color match for you? So again, if that's virtual, they can just shoot over a no makeup selfie. I'll send them the colors that I think would be great for them, along with a link to purchase, and they buy it. If it's a in-person color match, that's essentially me just showing them the simplicity of the makeup, trying out the colors, making sure we get that right. And that is something, again, that I can scale and show somebody else how to do. So that's, for example, my prospecting system, if you will, is color matching. The third freedom system is accountability. So I already did a whole episode on that. Go back and listen to episode 6 on accountability. And that is so important because, again, if you are going to lead a team or if you are trying to grow yourself, accountability is going to be one of those systems that you need to integrate into your life and your business. And then finally, retention. And retention is just how you keep your customers and distributors and employees and team members. Because the more you're having to replace that or fill that bucket, which know that in any business, I ran my boutique for 15 plus years, and I'm thankful that I got to work with so many employees over those 15 years. And now in my team, I may have a ton of new artists, is what we call them, or distributors that join us each month. But I have some that decide it's not right for them. And so they quit and they move on. And there are certain systems that you can do to keep people on your team or working for you. And we're going to talk about one of the most important systems that plays into that retention system, and that is recognition. So again, we have systems and we have recognition, and those are the two secrets to pouring lighter fluid on your business. So let's move into recognition, shall we? So recognition is just acknowledging and recognizing the behaviors that you want more of. So that kind of starts with you, right? Maybe you are the sole employee or the sole team member, if you will, in your business right now. You need to recognize the behaviors that you are doing that you want more of. So that might look like treating yourself if you check the boxes that you wanted to do in your business, if you did the steps that you wanted to take that week, maybe going and getting a manicure and a pedicure. Or maybe it's, going and treating yourself to a latte with a friend at the end of the week. But recognizing the behaviors that you want more of is the key to making recognition scale and grow your business. And if you lead a team, you're going to want to take every opportunity to share their results. And even importantly than the results, you're going to want to share the actions that they're taking that others could be taking in order to grow either their business or your business, right? So recognition is super important because if they are like the rock stars and they are just killing it and breaking records, that's the Roger Bannisters. Of course they deserve to be recognized, right? Like they have earned it, they have worked hard, and you should shout them from the rooftops. But sometimes when you do recognize those rock stars on your team or those employees that absolutely just kill it, which sometimes it can be the same people month after month when that happens. Sometimes that can send people into comparison mode a little bit. And if that happens, go send them episode 5 for Embrace Your Numbers, where they can learn that comparison is the thief of joy. But when you do your recognition, know that you should recognize the rock stars that are doing the big things, but I want you to equally prioritize the small steps and the small accomplishments, as people tend to feel more inspired when someone is just one step ahead of them. Okay, so let's talk practicality, right? So there are 3 different types of recognition or 3 different ways that you can recognize the results and the behaviors and actions that you want in your team and in yourself. So the first type is public recognition. So this looks like where you are shouting it from the rooftops to the world that this person has done big things, right? So that might look like taking an ad out in a magazine or tagging someone in a social media story or posting on their personal Facebook feed. So you're taking the time to share it with the masses, not just the people who may or may not be involved in your business, but you're shouting them out, right? And that's a very, very powerful way to do it because people who aren't inside your team or aren't necessarily a part of your company are going to see that you're the type of person that acknowledges those things and you like to pour into others. And it helps them kind of tie a deeper a deeper sense of connection to your business when they can visualize the people who are doing the work within your business. And it's a great way to shout from the rooftops and help your team or yourself even feel really special about the work that you've done and the things that you've accomplished. So public recognition is the first type. The second type is within a group of peers. So that's within a smaller group of people, could be, a smaller team, or again, if you've got 5 to 10 employees, perhaps you do meet weekly. That is the perfect time to shout someone out because they want to stand out. They want to feel like they are going above and beyond, right? And sometimes the most powerful, if not the most powerful, is to be recognized within a group of people who are doing it right alongside you, right? So that small peer recognition is probably the most powerful type. And then lastly, private recognition. And I don't want you to skip this step because honestly, sometimes like public recognition or kind of recognizing in a group of people, yes, it seems like you're kind of maybe it's a little bit more of a grander scale of recognition. But sometimes one of the biggest ways to do it is just to go directly to that person and say, "Hey, I see you. I see the work that you're doing, and I'm inspired, and you're killing it, and I'm grateful for that." And that private recognition, so it could be an email, it could be a private text message or voice message, it could be a thank you note. Think about the power of a thank you note that you could do. That individual private recognition is going to lift up that person. It's also going to make you feel really great too. Okay, so let's talk about how we can combine these two secrets, so systems and recognition, into the ultimate explosion in your business, and that is to systematize your recognition. So, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you can come up with a set monthly or weekly time, again, go back in time block. If you haven't listened to episode 6 around accountability, and if you haven't done your homework for time blocking, try it out. I promise you, it can be a game changer for your business. So, time block right on your calendar, put it in your checklist for the week or for the month that you are going to recognize certain key actions, behaviors, or results that you want more of in your business. And what happens is kind of twofold. The first thing that happens is you are going to develop habits in your business and it's going to become a rhythm. Again, you're marrying the process and divorcing the result. And you are going to achieve more of those same results, either for yourself or from your team, because of that consistency of recognition and that kind of rhythm that you're applying it into your business model. And guess what? It's also something you can tell somebody else how to do, right? So you can scale it. But then also, something magical happens when you start to get consistent in doing a certain type of recognition. The people around you are going to take notice and they know what it is that you're looking for. And they know that time that it's going to happen. And they want that, right? Like they can know that those actions that you're shouting out or those results that they've got either a week or a month or whatever timeline it is to do their work so that they can be recognized next time. So consistency is super important when it comes to recognition. And that's how you can focus on implementing that system is just a time block, set a weekly or a monthly time to do your recognition in your business. Okay, so let's talk homework because I love to leave you with some clear action steps that you can take right now in your business. And the first one is going back to systems. I want you to write down, so break out maybe the Notes app on your phone or a notebook and take some time today to figure out what is the process of bringing on a new customer for your business? What does it look like? What are the actions that you're doing? Are you taking them to lunch? Are you spending an hour where you send consistent messages? Are you running ads? What is it that you are doing? What is your process for bringing on business, new business? Write it down. And then I want you to look at that and I want you to think, is this something that you could easily teach or show somebody else how to do? Are you the only person that could do it? Do you have some kind of special gift that you would maybe have trouble scaling? I want you to acknowledge that. Is this something that you could teach? Is it something that you could scale? Also, is it something that can be simplified even further? Is there a step that you can skip? Or is there a way, again, that you can maybe time block it so you're doing more of those actions that bring you the results in the business? So think about that. Okay. That's going to be your homework for today. Write down your process for bringing on a new customer in your business and figure out if you can teach it and if it can be simplified even further. Now, your second piece of homework is an easy one, but don't skip it. Who do you need to acknowledge today? Who can you share and send a private message that will give them that encouragement they need to do more of the work that they're doing? It might be yourself. It might be yourself. And that's awesome. I want you to do that. I want you to acknowledge the greatness that you accomplished last month or last week or last year. And if it's somebody on your team, think about it. Who's one person that you can show your love and gratitude for today? I'm recording this on Valentine's Day and posting it on Valentine's Day as well. And there couldn't be a better day to make this happen. So that's your homework for this week, guys. And I can't wait to hear how you implement systems and recognition into your business to pour that lighter fluid and scale. So get excited for next week, y'all. This is a big week. I am about to shift this podcast in a major way. Get excited, be on the lookout, be on the listen out for this. Next Monday, there's going to be something really, really exciting and kind of game changing headed your way. So get excited for this. But I'm so thrilled to wrap up this dream acronym with you guys. I hope this is going to be able to help you break down those big business goals and create some momentum in your business. So have a great week. Can't wait to see you next week. Thank you so much for listening today. If this episode inspired you in any way, it would mean the world for you to share it with a friend or even take a screenshot for your stories. Just tag me at Heather K. Burge on Insta or shoot me a message to let me know what you thought about today's episode. And don't forget to check out heatherkburge.com for more information. Sending y'all big hugs and gratitude for dreaming with me today.